We're here at Francis Lake. We're ready to take on Morgan tomorrow. It's a very intimidating looking mountain when you get closer to it. But that's true of most mountains, so what are you gonna do? But what I thought I would take the opportunity to do here is to talk about a couple of pieces of gear, not in a boring way, but in an object lesson way, to give you a sense of what's next for me going out walking. First thing, they're pretty great. The Nucleo, very mid-top. They're waterproof. Normally when I go hiking in Southern California, I don't need waterproof boots because it's not wet, ever. But on the wilderness travel course, when we did snow day, I discovered that snowshoeing is not so bad. Not so bad. And there's a bunch of places around. It's really hard to get there if there is no snow. But if there is snow, it's a lot easier to get there. So, waterproof. I've been through enough scree as well that my usual mid-ankle height boot, when things get really ball-bearing-y, really sandy, it's just an invitation to join my feet in the shoe to all of that sand and scree, and that's no fun at all. So the boots, these are good. That's step number one. Step number two is over here. This is an Arcflex Terraplane from Dana Designs. It's from the mid-90s, and it is the spiritual predecessor of the Mystery Ranch Glacier series. So much so that I could actually get a part for this pack because it fits that series as well. It's huge. It would be as tall as a tent if the sleeping bag was in there. It's definitely an older bag. It's not reservoir capable, but I have definitely had problems with reservoirs leaking in the past, so I don't love just having a sleeve around something that leaks, especially when it leaks out of the top and over the sleeve. That's no fun. In this instance, the trick that we do to fit a 3-liter, probably more if I were so inclined. So we're making up for that, and everything else about this pack is kind of incredible, which is you got webbing everywhere so you can dangle things from all over the place. This has a removable day pack. It's a little awkward. You gotta undo some straps to take the lid off, and then the way you're gonna have to carry it is you have to undo all the Velcro of the hip belt. So that could be, it's got a roll top covering. It has a giant place for the sleeping bag with this huge zipper. Everything about the zippers are huge. There's metal. It's just really well made. I literally could not find a single bad word said about this backpack series on the internet, which is impressive. Why 70-liter? Why not the Kelty? Well, we took the Kelty with us to snow camp along with a 4-season tent. We'll get to that in a second. When you start to get snow stuff involved, 44 liters just really isn't that much. The necessity here is for a true expedition pack. The reason to get this is because it was $190 and not, $300, which is what a new pack would have cost me for that size. So, let's talk tents. This is the Black Diamond El Dorado. The design is called the Bibbler. Got 6 reinforced guy points so that it can handle the wind. This tent itself hasn't been on Everest, but this model of tent has gone to places like Everest. So it can take wind, which is something I'm going to encounter a lot. Even if I don't take this out for snow and other things, the wind resistance of the 4-season tent is what really sets them apart from the other things. So the cool part about this tent, which you can see here, that tent pole is inside the tent. You set the tent poles up inside the tent. So there's no fly, it's just one sheet, but that one sheet is specially treated. Instead of being a dew monster in the morning, it's treated to take snow load. Everything is seam sealed so that that snow can melt. It doesn't come seam sealed from the factory if you do manage to buy this tent new, which I did not because it's $900 new. Black Diamond doesn't seam seal the tent for you. You have to do that after you buy the tent that you just spent $800 or $900 on. I don't understand that, but whatever. Weighs only 5 pounds, which is a lot more than my one-person Nemo Hornet, which only weighs 1.5 pounds. For the 4-season tent, this is way on the light end. This, if you can't tell, spacious-wise, is a 2-person tent. It's a palace for 1 person. That's a big bonus. It doesn't have a vestibule. You can buy an optional one. If I get lucky on Gear Trade, I'll go check that out as well so that I can do some cooking in bad weather in this tent. I'm super stoked about this tent. That's the tent. And now, excuse me. Whoa. Okay. And now, for the most important purchase, I have a beginner down. It's rated to 20 degrees. Now what that rating means is that's the EN rating. That EN rating is while not technically a lie, not very helpful. It's a survival rating. It is not a comfort rating. Generally speaking, the comfort rating is a full 15 degrees higher, and that's a whole different season. If I think I'm going to go out into 20-degree weather with an EN rated bag, then I actually need a 0-degree bag in the EN rating style in order to have a bag that will actually keep me warm at 20 degrees. Does that all sound like a hassle? Is that incredibly annoying? Do I sleep cold? Will I be completely miserable if I do not have a sleeping bag that can work with the clothes that I need to bring? Yes, to all of the above. So, this is the Western Mountaineering Ultralight. They rate this bag to 20 degrees, but it is not an EN rating. They genuinely mean it when they say 20-degree bag. I don't have to worry if we're going to be in 35-degree weather. The Kelty Cosmic 20 was worthless. I managed to survive snow camp just barely by wearing all of my layers to bed, including the parka, and having a liner inside of the bag. And even that was kind of marginal. There are definitely cold spots in the bag. There is nothing that will completely ruin your experience in the wild, or at least mine, than sleeping cold, which means I don't sleep at all. 850 fill power down, which means this sleeping bag weighs less than the Kelty. It has all kinds of amazing stuff, so I don't actually have to wear parkas to bed. This wonderful neck baffle, a hood, it has a draft collar, all the way up and down. The zipper moves so easily. This is an incredibly well-made bag. People know what they're worth and they do not give them up unless they have to. At the end of the day, this is the one that I could afford. So that works. Oh, one more important philosophical thing. All of this gear for my new journeys in the shoulder seasons at height in remote places where that get windy and I need to carry everything with me to them. I didn't buy any of this stuff new. It was really important to be part of helping find good gear, get a new home, rather than just going out and spending a whole lot of money on it. This Dana Design backpack has been sitting in someone's garage for 20 years. They hadn't even used it. It's barely used. The hip pads are so new, they're still grinding into my hips and causing bruising. That's part of the energy about going to these wilderness spaces, but it's part of the philosophy of Leave No Trace, is this sense that you want to be responsible with how you use the space, and I'm just extending that to how I get the gear that lets me be in these beautiful spaces. That's a little teaser. I'm not just training for one 14er, we're going to train for 3 14ers. And if I'm really, really, really lucky and diligent in the climbing gym, maybe 5 14ers. In one season. The rest of the 14ers you have to climb. That does require me to be diligent about the climbing stuff. So I gotta refill my water from Francis Lake, or actually probably going to get it from this stream, and get ready, catch some Z's, and Summit Mount Morgan tomorrow, or at least try. Yeah, so this is what we came here to see. That's the plan. See you in the trail. Buen camino.